All right, you know the look, your cat just staring intensely at a totally empty corner of the room. We all kind of laugh it off, right? Joke about them seeing ghosts. But what if I told you that's not just them being weird? What if their strangest behaviors are actually part of a secret job they're doing for you day in and day out? Yeah, that intense stare at a blank wall, it's got to be one of the biggest mysteries for anyone who's ever lived with a cat. They just freeze, their eyes locked on, well, absolutely nothing. But the real answer isn't supernatural. Oh no, it's way, way more fascinating than. That's right. They're not seeing ghosts, they're on the clock. When your cat is staring off into space, they are working. They are performing this ancient duty that's been hardwired into their DNA for thousands of years. They're on guard duty. So let me tell you about Sarah and her orange tabby, Oliver. Every single time someone came to the door, Oliver would plant himself right between Sarah and the visitor. He wasn't aggressive or anything, just watchful, super focused. And Sarah, well, she just figured it was one of his cute little quirks. But then she happened to mention it to her vet, and that's when she found out what was really going on. This wasn't a quirk at all. It was a job. The vet explained it's called territorial guarding. Oliver was doing exactly what his instincts told him to do: assess a potential threat to his territory and, more importantly, to his family, to Sarah. To really get why they do this, we've got to go back in time, like way back. Because that little fluffball purring on your couch, they're basically running on this ancient, powerful software, an operating system from the wild that we barely ever get to see in action. And get this number is kind of staggering. Researchers have figured out that our house cats still have about 90% of the same instincts as their ancient ancestor, the African wildcat. 90%. Just let that sink in for a second. That means 9/10 of your cat is still a wild hunter, totally wired for survival. And this is where things get really interesting. See, for a wildcat, territory is all about survival. Food, safety, the whole deal. But for your house cat, that same instinct got a major upgrade. Their territory isn't just the physical house anymore. It's become the safe zone for their family, the place where you belong. So how exactly are they protecting you? I mean, it's clearly more than just staring at walls. It's actually this really sophisticated 3-layer security system that your cat is running 24/7 right under your nose. We're going to break down their whole security protocol. There are 3 key parts: the perimeter check, the night watch, and this amazing invisible thing called the scent network. And trust me, once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing it everywhere. First up, the perimeter check. You ever notice how your cat kind of walks the same exact route through the house every day, from the kitchen, past the couch, to the window? Well, that's not just them aimlessly wandering. That's a patrol. They are systematically inspecting all the entry points, constantly updating their mental map of your home. And this is serious business. There's a true story about a cat named Whiskers who was doing his nightly perimeter check. He got to the basement door and just stopped, started meowing like crazy. His family finally went to check, and what did they find? A gas leak. His patrol, his job, literally saved their lives. He knew something was wrong on his map, and he sounded the alarm. Okay, let's talk about the 3 a.m. zoomies or that paw on your face when it's still dark out. We always say cats are nocturnal, but that's actually a common mistake. They're crepuscular. It's a fancy word that just means they're most active at dawn and dusk. For a wild cat, that's prime time for hunting. For your cat, it's prime time for guarding. And that instinct leads us right into the second layer of their security system, the night watch. So when your cat is scratching at your bedroom door or meowing in the hallway in the dead of night, they're not just trying to annoy you. They're doing a head count. It's an instinctual check-in to make sure every member of the family is safe and accounted for. And just how powerful is that instinct? Listen to this. A cat named Blake saved his entire family from a house fire. He smelled the smoke during his night watch, sprinted to their bedroom, and just started howling until they woke up. That annoying nightly check-in, it turned into a full-blown rescue mission. So you're probably wondering, how can they detect this stuff when we can't? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is their nose. To put this in perspective, we humans have about 5 million scent receptors. Not bad, right? Well, a cat has up to 200 million. It's not even in the same league. They are literally living in a world of smells we can't even imagine.
And it's not just their sense of smell. Their hearing can pick up frequencies 3 times higher than ours. Their sense of smell is 40 times more powerful. And they can see in light that's 6 times dimmer than what we need. They're basically walking around with a built-in set of biological superpowers.
Okay, so the final layer of security is the most subtle one. It's the scent network. You know how your cat rubs its cheeks on you, on the couch, on the corner of a wall? That's not just them being cute and affectionate. They're leaving behind their scent, their pheromones. They're building an invisible security grid, a map of everything that is safe and part of the family. And if something new comes in that doesn't have that scent, the alarm bells go off in their head instantly. So, we've covered the what and the how. But the real question, the big one, is why? Why go to all this trouble? The answer, honestly, gets to the absolute heart of why we love these animals so much. Because it turns out, it's not about the house at all. And we actually have science to back this up. It's amazing. A landmark study from Oregon State University found that a huge majority of cats, about 65%, form what's called a secure attachment to their owners. And you know what that's comparable to? The bond between a human child and their parent. This goes way beyond just wanting food. It's a genuine, deep emotional bond. Let me just say that again because it's huge. Your cat doesn't see you as a food dispenser. They see you as a caregiver, as family. So they're not guarding a building with 4 walls, they're guarding their home. And you are the reason it's a home. And the coolest part of this whole story is that they chose us. Think about it. We domesticated dogs and horses and cows, but cats, they basically domesticated themselves. Thousands of years ago, they saw our grain stores attracting mice, and they just moved in. It started as a partnership, a business deal, but over all that time, that deal deepened into a family bond. So when you really understand all this, it changes everything, doesn't it? That weird behavior isn't so weird anymore. It's an act of loyalty. It's like they're honoring this ancient contract between our 2 species, a contract they take very, very seriously. And just how deep does that instinct run? Listen to the story of Masha, a stray cat in Russia. She found a baby that had been abandoned in a freezing cold hallway. What did she do? She jumped into the box, curled her body around the infant to keep him warm, and then meowed until help arrived. She had no obligation to do that, just a pure, powerful instinct to protect the vulnerable. So the next time your cat follows you from room to room or stares intently at that empty wall or decides 4 a.m. is the perfect time for a chat, maybe you'll see it differently. They're not being weird, they're being a guardian, they're on the clock. Which leaves one final question, right? The next time your cat is just sitting there, watching you, what are they really seeing? Not just an owner, they're seeing a family member worth protecting.
Before you go, remember this. Your cat is doing something right now that most owners completely miss. At Feline Frontier, we don't just share cute cat facts, we uncover the hidden meanings, the quiet signals, and the strange behaviors your cat uses every single day to communicate with you. From the sounds that instantly calm a stressed cat, to the tiny habits that prove they trust you, to the mistakes that silently hurt them more than you realize. Everything here is designed to help you understand your cat on a deeper level. So if you've ever looked at your cat and thought, "What are you really trying to tell me?" You're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Feline Frontier, because the next video might explain something your cat has been waiting years for you to understand. See you in the next frontier of feline truth.